Okay, imagine Apple actually does this next September. Two flagship iPhones. The iPhone 18 Pro costs $999. The iPhone 18 Ultra costs $1,899. Now, be honest, what could possibly be inside that $1,899 slab of glass and titanium to make you pay an extra $900? Because if Apple just says thinner bezels, a slightly better battery, and a new titanium color, that's not enough. Not even close. At $1,899, this thing has to feel like a completely different product. And that's where the Ultra idea starts getting dangerous. The Pro would still be the phone most people buy. Fast, premium, amazing cameras, simple. But the Ultra? That one has to do the weird stuff. The impossible stuff. The stuff you can actually show someone at a coffee shop and say, yeah, the standard Pro can't do this. I think the first feature that could really sell it is something that changes how we capture reality. Say you're recording a video at night. Looks okay on a normal phone, maybe a little noisy in the shadows. But normally what you shoot is what you get. The Ultra could change that. It could use a dedicated LiDAR and AI array to map the 3D depth of the entire scene in real time. You shoot a video and 2 days later you can open the file and literally change the lighting. Move a virtual light source from the left side of the room to the right. Change the focus from the person in the front to the car in the back, after the video is already saved. Basically, take a standard home video and make it look like it was lit by a Hollywood crew. Now that's useful because you aren't just getting sharper pixels. The phone is unlocking creative control you usually need a studio for. And this is where the hardware difference starts to make sense. The iPhone Pro might have 8 GB of memory. The Ultra could jump to 32 GB. 4 times more memory. Now, normally 32 GB in a smartphone sounds completely ridiculous. But if the phone is doing real-time 3D scene reconstruction, running AAA desktop games, translating live conversations entirely on device, and running a massive local AI model all at the same time? Okay, now it starts making sense. Same with storage. Pro starts at 256 GB. Ultra starts at 2 TB. That is 8 times more storage. And here's the obvious question. Why would a phone need 2 TB? It wouldn't. Pocket computer would. A modern desktop class game is 60 GB. ProRes spatial video eats up gigabytes in minutes. On 256 GB you install 2 big games and shoot one holiday in 4K, and you're already managing your storage settings. On 2 TB that changes everything. You don't manage it. You just keep it. That is a real difference. Not a spec sheet difference, a daily use difference. And local processing is probably where the Ultra has to justify itself the most. Because the Pro at $999 is already going to be incredibly fast. What does the Ultra add? Not just a slightly higher Geekbench score. That's boring. It should add things like unchained local AI. Say you are on a flight 0 Wi-Fi. You ask Siri to summarize a 50-page PDF, draft a complex email response, and generate an image for a presentation. The Ultra does it instantly. No waiting for a server. No cloud processing. The phone is the server. And this leads to another crucial detail, thermals. The Pro can stay thin, light, and compact. Simple. But the Ultra with desktop-class processing needs real cooling. A massive vapor chamber, maybe even active solid-state cooling under the glass. And honestly, I'd rather have a slightly thicker phone if it means the performance stays high. I don't want an $1,899 phone that plays a high-end game perfectly for 10 minutes, then gets hot, dims the screen to 50%, and drops the frame rate. Make it thicker. Give it a battery that lasts 2 straight days of heavy use. Use the space. Now, let's talk about the ecosystem because this could be the single best Ultra feature. There is a feature that could be huge, especially if you already live in the Apple world. You walk into your office or your living room. You drop the iPhone Ultra onto a MagSafe dock on your desk. Instantly, the monitor wakes up. But it's not screen mirroring. It's full macOS. The Ultra has the exact same silicon as a Mac, so it just runs a tailored version of the desktop OS when plugged into a display. Your keyboard connects. Your mouse connects. You drag Final Cut onto the big screen. You open Desktop Safari. And when you're done, you pick up the phone and put it in your pocket. Now ask yourself if the Ultra did that really well, would some people still need to buy a Mac Mini or a MacBook Air? Maybe not. And suddenly $1,899 starts looking a lot less crazy because you aren't just buying a phone anymore. You are buying your primary computer. Now let's compare the actual hardware. The Pro. Amazing OLED screen, 8 GB memory, 256 GB storage, great cameras, reliable cooling. For most people, honestly, that is the one. Then the Ultra. Micro LED display that never dims in the sun, 32 GB unified memory, 2 TB storage, vapor chamber cooling, full 3D spatial camera rig, and Mac docking capabilities. That is not just a slightly faster phone. That is a different class of machine. Would most people use that? No. And that's fine. The Ultra isn't for most people. That is the point. Let's come back to the price. $999 versus $1,899. That is a $900 difference. The Ultra costs almost twice as much. So no, it does not need to just open apps twice as fast. That's not how this works. It needs to do things the Pro literally cannot do. That is the whole argument. The Pro takes great videos. The Ultra lets you relight them in 3D. The Pro runs apps. The Ultra runs a local AI server. The Pro gets hot after an hour of heavy gaming. The Ultra stays cold. The Pro mirrors your screen. The Ultra becomes your Mac. That is how you justify the gap. And honestly, I think the buying decision would be really simple. If you want a phenomenal camera, great battery, and a premium Apple experience, get the Pro. At $999, it makes sense. If you need 2 TB of storage, serious AAA gaming, Unchained local AI Mac integration, and all the weird heavy stuff, then you look at the Ultra. Would most people need the Ultra? No. Probably 10% of buyers at most. And that is exactly how it should be. The Ultra shouldn't be the logical choice. It should be the crazy choice. The one you buy because you know exactly why you need it. And here is the question that really decides it. You are standing in the Apple Store. The Pro is $999. The Ultra is $1,899. What feature would actually make you spend another $900? Not what sounds cool on a keynote stage. What would make you pull out the card? For me, it would need to be the Mac desktop mode and the true 2-day battery. If Apple gives me that, I at least understand the price. If it's just a bigger screen and a slightly better zoom lens, no chance. And that's really the whole idea. The Pro should be the best iPhone. The Ultra should stop feeling like a phone at all.